Thanks for coming back to Bedtime Readings. I am currently hanging out with all of my pets. I have my 8 parrots and 2 doggos hanging out while we wind down for bedtime, and I thought we would continue reading through Watering the Soul, and our next chapter is called Slow Down. So let's dive right in. There are many reasons to race through life, to hurry to the next moment, just as quickly as you burned through every moment before then. But there is such beauty in taking things in, the way the leaves change from season to season, the sky at dusk and dawn, a hand to hold, and someone to believe in, butterflies taking flight, and the glow of the moon at night. If we slow down and take time to see, we will truly be reminded of the universe and all its beauty. The way the moon does not rush from behind the clouds, but merely waits for them to pass. Be that with your thoughts. Let your mind breathe. You will always be learning, always be growing and taking things in. When someone calls you beautiful, there will always be a small part of your heart that wonders if that word is meant for you. It will always be meant for you. You are beautiful in the way you breathe and carry on, beautiful in the way you show courage to the days that are dark and long, beautiful in the way you are meant to be heard and embraced and known. We view our life by running at it head on, by always chasing after one emotion to the next. We try to avoid pain by never acknowledging it, by always covering it up with people or places or things to do. But that never allows the pain to heal. It never allows the wounds to close over, create the scars that tell our stories. If we stopped and acknowledged the pain, embraced the pain as an emotion that belongs to us, in the same way our happiness and joy belongs to us, then we wouldn't be always running. All my life, I have been stumbling through moments, desperate to reach the next, without ever really finishing the moment I was currently in. What I've learned by taking a moment to breathe. 1. Acceptance is a state of being. 2. Listening isn't only hearing what you want to hear. Listening is acknowledging not all things will make sense, feel good, or be free from pain, but it is important to listen anyway. Listening leads to healing. 3. Inhaling and exhaling is the soul's way of renewing. Each moment we take to stop and to breathe is healing. 4. Spending time doing nothing is the best gift you can give yourself. And 5. Small details often give us reason to love harder, work harder, and be at one with ourselves. By rushing, we often don't see those small details. This one, I really want anybody who's listening to really take in and understand that this is absolutely 100% true. And I hope that whoever's listening hears this and feels this and knows it as truth. You will always have meaning. You mean something to the roses you admire, to the shore you stand upon, and to the salty air you breathe. You mean something to the sunset you marvel at and the smell of rain you inhale. You mean something to the sun and the moon and the stars which shine for you, and to the universe which wouldn't be the same without you. Finding meaning in this world and in this life can be as simple as slowing down and realizing that just by existing, you already hold so much meaning in this life. Time slows when I think about my name wrapped around the base of her heart, twisting and entwining, everlasting and binding. I could live for eternity in the warmth of her hands, the joy I feel from her laugh, and the hope I see in her smile. How she spends her days by the sea, gathering shells and dusting sand away from her shoes. She is a dream, comforting, alluring, and calming every breath inside of me. You cannot reach into the future and see what your heart feels any more than you can reach back into the past and change it. But you can hold your heart in the present. You can feel everything as each moment settles into existence. Listen to the way your heart feels in the present. The uncertainty and the doubt are always going to be there. You will navigate these thoughts day in and day out. You will feel overwhelmed, like the noise of the world is too much. But this is why to slow down is to accept that life is filled with many feelings. Some are beautiful and others ugly, but they are all connected. It was as though you had blinked and suddenly the year was over. You had just been watching the countdown, sitting on your living room floor, wine bottles all around, laughing with the love of your life. Then you read the book you said you were always going to read, and you finally went to the opera and cried through the final act. You bought 7 new plants and promised you would buy a new pair of shoes. Those old loafers were worn. You never did throw them out. Then the love of your life left, and for a while it seemed like the world had stopped right alongside you. Only it hadn't. The world carried on, and then winter came, with snowdrops on windowsills and trees bearing it all before spring returned, promising so many new things, the way it always does. And there was someone new and beautiful, someone who gently took your hand and danced with you, whispered that there was moonlight in your eyes. You never thought you would make it, but you learned something that year. Life could be more than surviving. It could be lived. This is the thing about life and all its chaos. Most of us are so eager to get to the next moment or memory. We want the next adventure or journey or road to travel. We want our tomorrow so swiftly that so often we forget to be here now. The magic happens when you slow down and take every moment for what it is, a gift. I did fall in love, surely wholeheartedly, but not all at once. It was patient, soft, an everlasting feeling of forever. When you find such love, there is a part of your heart changed, a part of your heart that from that moment forward remains calm. One morning, my eyes opened slowly and the sunlight met me in a rush of joy and warmth. The light said to me, life has never been about all the things I could acquire or the days I had hastily filled with meaningless conversations. It was about slowing down, listening to the way a brook babbles over the land and into the stream, or the honeybees hum softly in the afternoon sunlight, how their little bellies gleam. The light reminded me to listen carefully, to rise above the notion of not enough, for if we don't live in the moment, we miss life's true message of humility. When you are lost, a well of grief grows, overflowing with emotion. It drowns all dreams, hopes, and truths, the constant struggle between thoughts of reason, the memories filled with ache, the fear no one else will ever understand you, all piled on top of one another, so most nights feel unbearable. But just because the anxiety, the loss, and the struggle tell you that you are not strong or capable or deserving of dreams coming true, does not mean it is the narrative you belong to. Your story is more than that, more than feeling trapped within the walls of your mind and the fears in your heart. Your story is in the way you continue to carry on each day, each year, every year. thank you so much for coming and hanging out with us. I am not sure what type of posting schedule I am going to have, but as soon as I figure something out, I will let you guys know. I look forward to reading books and sharing some beautiful bits of poetry, whatever the case may be. So yeah, thanks for joining me for episode 2, and I hope you all have the most relaxing and rejuvenating sleep this evening. Good night.